On today's episode, we talk about the Tom Hanks movie,
the Tom Hanks
News
satellite
of the World. He's Jay, I'm Malin, that's Ben.
Three bros with three opinions all about movies.
You already know, but this is Movie Jabs.
Let's go.
Another Tom Hanks movie.
He's back.
Yeah, but it's a very Tom Hanks movie.
We are not going to agree on this one.
No, we're not. We're not going to agree. But it's Tom Hanks doing Tom Hanks.
Love Tom Hanks.
There's nothing new in this movie from Tom Hanks. It's all the Tom Hanks we've seen before. But I will say,
The Western.
yeah, the little girl in this was great.
She did. She was
awesome.
Is this her first big movie?
Has to be.
I've never seen her before.
Yeah, I've never seen her before, but she was great. So
I don't think so.
yeah, so Tom Hanks he's a Confederate captain, and he's retired, and he's trying to make a living, and he's traveling the country.
I do like his
reading
job,
the
though.
news. He travels the country. He was Facebook and Twitter. He was the equivalent of social media back
He's
then.
like, I'm the only one who can read around here.
He was old school social media. That's exactly what I was going to say, but you stole it.
Yeah.
Stolen.
Yeah, he was the social media. So he's traveling around doing that stuff. And
Tom Zuckerberg.
One random day, he is going down the road, sees this carriage is tipped over, and finds this little girl. Turns out she was basically abducted by Native Americans and only spoke whatever Native American language
Kiowa,
it was.
I believe it was.
Kiowa, okay.
Kiowa and,
Like that? Silly
good
Paul.
memory. Good
Pulled
memory.
it.
She knew a little bit of German, too.
Very
she's
little,
German.
She's from
She had German
Germany
roots.
originally.
Yeah, German roots.
But it turns out the guy that was taking her got killed because he was black, and they killed him down in the South.
Yeah, Texas still very racist back then.
Still very racist back then. And he got stuck with this kid. He tried to take her and drop her off to the Union soldiers and say, "Hey, look, guys, here you go.
Abandoned
Here's
kid,
the kid."
you got to do something with
And
it.
they just looked at him dumbfounded, like, "It's your problem, bro.
Yeah.
Take her."
Yep.
So he tries to take her back to her family, and it's just this long journey of him dealing with her. But
because it was a very dangerous route through those parts of Texas. And,
He literally says, he goes, I'm going to take you to your family. We're going to be on this road for 6 days. I'm like, oh my God.
it's a long time.
I'm like, 6 days on a single road? This movie's going to be boring.
Dude,
But he runs into every
take
type
a 747. You'd be there in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
He runs into every type of trouble you could find.
Stop. He runs into one hiccup. And that's
More than one.
That's what the three. Yeah, I mean maybe one and a half. That's the three gunmen, and like even that was boring.
No, shootout,
those
bro. That
three
shootout scene was
gunmen
really
wanted
cool.
to take that girl and
I know
do
they did.
They
very
wanted to
illegal
turn her-
things.
They wanted to turn her into a child prostitute, which is terrible.
I know they did, and Tom stopped.
Wasn't having it. Tom wasn't having
Yeah,
it.
and Tom, the great thing about
Good
Tom
guy.
in this movie, he was just this like lackadaisical, cool, calm guy that you wouldn't expect anything from. But when it came time to be badass, he was pretty badass. I mean, he would. Dude, that gunfight, you gotta admit, the gunfight was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
I liked so that was a cool scene. I also liked the way that he ended the gunfight with the guy that was above him. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the way he ended it, that was pretty cool. I did like that.
It was a really cool gunfight, and then their journey goes on, and
Always keep spare change with you. by the way.
he does keep spare change. So throughout the whole journey, he's building the bond with the little
Smoking
girl.
with a roll of quarters.
He's building the bond with the little girl, and the little girl's starting to really trust him. And
She's teaching him a little bit of Kiowa, and
you knew from the very beginning this was going to happen.
Yeah, good bond.
Let me tell you right now, the way you're explaining this movie, that's the movie, and it is so boring.
It's not.
But
It's not.
It's nothing. So look,
You have no heart.
nothing. It's not that I have no heart. Nothing happens. So literally, this is a 5-second synopsis. He gets the girl. He transports her. He gives her to her distant family.
No, because they go to the
He
next
leaves.
town. The next town, not a
Again,
good town either.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, that's the second thing he runs into.
Hey,
He gets to like
second hiccup.
he gets to like the deep south. So
Yeah.
in the deep south, where it's still very backwards. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
only way I can think to describe it. He runs into another thing, and it's another cool gunfight.
And that's the thing too is hold on.
Another cool gunfight.
Because you saved the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
You stepped
yeah.
in, you saved the day. There's a character. What's the character's
I think
name?
his name is John.
Yeah, he steps in.
Boys, he's simple.
He steps in and he saves the day. You're in this movie.
I like your stories.
Yeah, I like your stories.
The little girl's in trouble the whole time because obviously the three guys at first wanted to. They try and buy her. They literally say, "We'll give you $50, then $100."
Yeah, which
right.
is a lot of money back then.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
And then the second one's like I said, they hate Native Americans, Indians, and they were going to kill her if they found out.
Yeah,
I get that, but the movie as a whole to me was so.
But what I liked about that scene.
Am I talking or am I?
All right,
done?
go ahead. Finish.
Boring.
what's
I'm done
boring
now.
is listening to you talk.
So what I liked about the scene when they got into the Deep South is that they knew that. Well, they knew Tom Hanks was a traveling guy that read the news, and pretty much nobody back then could really read. It was very few people could read, and they wanted him to read their own newspaper, which was like the KKK racist newspaper of themselves.
Which I didn't get. So a lot of people couldn't read.
So that's why it was born. You didn't get it.
No. Which a lot of people couldn't read, like especially in the camp where the one guy, the main bad guy, right?
Yeah.
So why have a newspaper for the people they can't read?
Well, because you read it to them. They teach them through their preaching.
It was
style.
it was like their propaganda newspaper. That they wanted someone from the outside, the news guy, to read. So this guy had more power there.
Right, because if an outsider comes in and reads that, how powerful is that?
It's huge.
You have a guy
so powerful, Ben.
It is. It's typical politics. But I liked that Tom Hanks was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Yep.
I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this girl's life at risk, but I ain't gonna do that.
Leave it to the people. Let them vote on it.
I did like the story you told, like to get out of this situation. We're not gonna spoil it. All right. Is there anything, since you guys liked the movie, is there anything you didn't like?
The only thing I didn't like about this movie is that from the very beginning, you knew 1,000% what the ending was going to be.
Yes.
Okay. That's the only thing I didn't like.
I was a little worried. I actually wasn't sure.
Oh, you weren't sure? I knew it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping so.
Yeah, I knew from the get-go what was going to happen in the end, which usually turns me off from a movie because I'm like, there's no point for me to watch this, but they made the journey to it interesting enough to keep me captivated.
All right.
Now, let's just go ahead and rate it.
Oh, well, first of all, I would like to see a little more of like an interaction between maybe him, the girl, and like the Native Americans.
Yeah, that was very short. That was very short.
If they did more of that, that would have been very cool.
Can I also give you my gripe real quick?
Speaking
of their interaction, there's a sandstorm or a dust bowl, whatever you want to call it.
It was like watching Midnight Sky again.
Yeah. So all of a sudden in this like dust bowl, like Native Americans appear.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, they just appear and they're like talking to this little girl and they see her and I'm like, what? How corny is this?
It's not, bro. They're people of the land.
My dude.
They're like, this is what we do, man.
It's like
we know all about this
It's
place.
like the wind like swept them in, like just so stupid.
They knew all about the land, baby. They knew all about the land.
I'm interested because I want to start with his rating because he's going to be the worst. Yeah, go ahead, rate it.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was very boring. I would not recommend it. I would say if you're a Tom Hanks fan, which I actually am, watch it. But I did not like it.
Clearly not.
All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Benny Sevens is back. 7.
I knew
7, huh? I'm giving it an 8.3.
Ooh, an 8?
I would higher than I thought.
You doubled me up?
I would 100%.
That's higher than I thought.
I would 100% watch this again.
Did you really?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome.
You doubled me up?
I liked it.
All right,
I liked Tom Hanks. I liked his interaction with the girl. I liked it.
Any closing thoughts?
It's suspenseful.
No, it wasn't. Any closing thoughts?
No.
Give it a watch. Give it a watch. Like, subscribe. Tell him he doesn't know what he's talking about. Per usual.
Yeah, please. We're out.